am the Kid Movie Ninja.
Hi, Internet!
And welcome to Kid Movie Ninja with your hosts Fighting Leaf and Husky the Wolf. Here in the Fighting Leaf household, we are all proud children of the 90s.
Oh man, Sonic Set AM, those are the days.
It was the original Pokemon series for me.
Don't forget Bill Nye the Science Guy!
Shut up!
It was a very special time for animation. Budgets had never been higher and some truly amazing things were being done. Perhaps no other show really exemplified what was made possible than that Disney afternoon classic, Ducktales.
Sure, there were better shows, but that one set the standard for how awesome cartoons could be.
And since we're all feeling nostalgic around here, we'll be taking a look at the crown jewel of that particular series, DuckTales the Movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
Shouldn't we tell the folks at home what DuckTales was about?
I don't feel like it.
Yay, laziness! The movie starts off in some Arabian desert type place, and our heroes are already about to die.
That'll happen when you're attempting to fly through a canyon rather than over it.
You mean you never took flying lessons?
Well, I took a crash course.
Now he tells me.
That was Launchpad McQuack, voiced by Terrence McGovern. His deal is that he's a decent enough pilot, but he has one significant flaw.
His horribly misshapen chin.
No, Husky. Try again.
Well, there's always the fact that he can't land a plane without crashing it. That probably won't end well.
First off, I just want to say that this animation is freaking fantastic for a non-full-length movie. Sadly, this doesn't last through the whole film, but it's alright.
Launchpad flies them around the clearly not part of the background pillars. Boy, I wonder what in all probability could happen here. I don't really wonder. I've seen this movie before. So he weaves all around the pillars until the priceless ruins inevitably crumble under the weight of his incompetence. Why the heck doesn't Scrooge just fire him?
He works cheap.
That actually makes sense.
Launchpad, look what you've done to these ancient ruins.
Well, it could have been worse. It could have been something new.
You are a profoundly stupid person. This old duck here is the true protagonist of the movie, Scrooge McDuck, voiced by Alan Not So Young. And these are his nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, voiced by a deflating tire. Okay, Russie Taylor.
You probably know those three, but this show added a niece named Webbigail, also voiced by Russie Taylor, for all the little girly girls in the audience.
Fortunately, these locals don't seem all that concerned with the destruction of a piece of their culture, and instead show off a giant vault which hopefully contains the treasure of Kali Baba, the greatest thief who'd ever lived. This is obviously a reference to the story Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves told in 1001 Nights by Scheherazade, but the thing is, Ali Baba himself was not one of the thieves. He was just a poor sap who had to deal with them, but that's just nitpicking, and I'd never do that.
Lies! After 40 years of searching, Scrooge finally finds the long-lost treasure he's been just kidding, it's laundry.
Never fear, however. These boys find a map in one of the garments, and Scrooge sets out to follow it.
But first, a word from our bad guys. These guys are Murloc, voiced by Christopher friggin' Lloyd, and Dijon. You get it? It's like the mustard. Get it? Voiced by Richard Libertini. Wait, is that racist?
Husky, everyone in this show is represented in highly tropey fashions with pun names. Rich, poor, young, old, foreign, domestic, none of it matters, they're all portrayed in the same way. Complaining about one character amid a sea of characters is a waste of energy. No one is trying to dehumanize anyone here, they're just trying to fill out comic relief.
Sheesh, it was just a question. Don't have a cow, man.
Dijon is the minion of the evil wizard Murloc, who also seems to want the treasure that Scrooge has been looking for. Dijon tells him about the map Scrooge now has, and Murloc orders him to act as Scrooge's guide through the desert as he follows the map to the middle of nowhere.
He then turns into a bird, because why not? Having learned his lesson from his near-death experience, Scrooge opts to take the camels across the desert to follow the map on foot. And even then, Launchpad manages to crash land.
It turns out that his camel tripped over a tiny, tiny pyramid.
But guess what?
What?
It ain't small at all! After a little digging, and by a little, I mean a friggin' buttload, they find that it's actually huge! It's also conveniently right where the treasure is hidden. Man, this review contains very little review so far, doesn't it?
Very true. But now there are two questions I want to bring up about what we're about to see. First of all, why do all fictional temples and ruins have fully functioning automatic doors made from pre-industrial technology?
The second question is here.
No telling what kind of dangers we may find.
Why the heck is Scrooge taking kids on an obviously dangerous expedition?
Child labor.
He is a horrible person!
Yeah, kinda.
Looks safe to me.
Ha! It's funny because he almost died. Wait. Fire-breathing cobra statue? Slither? From Treasure Buddies?
What the heck are you doing here? Being awesome. As you've probably observed, this temple is full of booby traps.
You said booby!
Again, like all fictional temples. So the triplets literally use their marbles to trip up all of the traps they come across.
Except this one.
You see?
I love cartoons. Anyway, after this sliding scene, the shading on the characters slowly stops happening for the rest of the movie, so it looks more like what the cartoon show actually did. Still a heck of a lot better than anything these days. I'm a grouchy grumpy old man. Get off my line.
Lo and behold, Scrooge finds his long-lost treasure. Oh, and he finds this worthless-looking, obviously magical lamp thing. It's so worthless that Scrooge hesitates to part with it when Webby asks if she can have it. Until she sets her eyes on a jewel-studded crown, anyway.
Didn't say your Uncle Scrooge never gave you anything.
That's pretty much Scrooge's main characteristic here.
Being a greedy old codger.
But unlike other characters who have this defining characteristic, Scrooge actually has other qualities that make up for it. Well, kind of.
Here's Cabbage dancing.
I don't want her, you can have her. She's too fat for me. She's too fat for me. Much too fat for me. Oh.
They get everything all gathered up in sacks, but it turns out that Dijon and Murloc were actually looking for this obviously magical lamp in particular out of everything in the treasure hoard. Oh yeah, mutant scorpions happen too, and Murloc lowers them right into the pit.
I knew that weasel's prices were too good to be true.
That's what happens when you're a penny pinching poo face!
They manage to escape through a cavern leading to an underground stream and use the treasure's ancient container as a makeshift boat. It seems to work out pretty well until they run out of room to breathe.
Hey Leaf,
Yes, Husky?
aren't the baddies looking for the lamp?
Yes.
But they're not gonna find it because it's not there.
That's because the small child has it.
Then that means... Oh, Abigail still got it. But Scrooge is so sad that she offers to give it back to him to make him feel better.
But this is where we see a bit of Scrooge's redeeming qualities. He tells Webby to keep the lamp, and vows that he won't give up his search for that treasure.
Murloc! Scrooge?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna want it after it's been in Dijon's pants.
Well, now it's time for some payoff. A couple of days later, everyone is home safe and sound, and Webby is about to polish the lamp.
Making it dance! And dance! And dance! Until it spits out a genie! Woo! It's time for wishing!
Wonder of wonders! Oh,
Hey, we got
Shabowie! It's a
talking here!
cover. What's this?
Shut up!
You shut up. He's fun. I mean, he's no Robin Williams, but he's more energetic than the likes of, say, Olaf.
So finally, one of the kids reminds them that they're all supposed to get wishes from this guy.
wishes for every master.
Oh, darn. Everybody remembers that part.
There is so much more to genius than granting wishes. Allergies? Allergies.
Well, now the kids get to make their first wish.
Gee, I guess one of us ought to wish for peace and happiness all over the world.
A valid point.
Hey, these are wishes, not miracles.
Screw that! Let's wish for an elephant! Awesome!
Genie immediately chews out Webby for wishing for something like that, because big wishes cause trouble.
And before you know it, they'll all be fighting over me, and the wishes will get out of control, and I'll end up being buried in the land for another 1,000 years.
So then he proposes the very plausible idea of making only small wishes.
'Cause this is what happens when you wish big.
Huey wishes the elephant away, and after that little round of chaos, the maid, cook, housekeeper, whatever character, Mrs. Beakley, voiced by Joan Gerber, tries to tell Scrooge about the event.
You think I'm crazy, don't you?
Yes! Is that all you got? Yes! But here's another one of Scrooge's better qualities. He's already figured out that the kids are up to something, and is already halfway on his way to figuring out what.
The kids know how smart Scrooge is, and scramble to hide Genie. And yes, his name is Genie, voiced by Rip Taylor. Of course he is.
Disney gonna sue them, sir? I feel like I made this joke before.
You have in the Frozen review.
What? Past me stole my joke? I will sue him so hard you'll think I work for Disney!
They try shoving him in a closet, but that doesn't work. Luckily, he disguises himself as a kid and passes himself off as a friend who wants to spend the night.
Scrooge allows it, mostly because, after losing his treasure and Mrs. Beakley freaking out, he is in no mood to deal with snotty brats anymore. You know what it's time for?
Wish Frenzy?
Wish Frenzy!
So yeah, these kids make their non-world-shaking wishes all day and late into the night. This leaves Scrooge and the staff none too happy.
So it's time for a little brain scrambling as one of them, do you really expect me to remember who's who here, wishes that old Scroogey Pants won't be mad at them.
Good night, Scrooge.
Nighty-night.
Sleep tight. That's telling them, sir.
Once in the room, Genie freaks out after seeing an owl's shadow glide past the window. He thought it was Murloc, who, as it turns out, was his old master. Apparently, he made him do some bad things.
Did you ever hear of Atlantis? It was everybody's favorite resort until Murloc couldn't get reservations. Then down she went. And poor Pompeii. Mount Vesuvius would have never blown its top if Murloc hadn't blown his.
So he killed millions of people? Well, probably just hundreds of thousands given Earth's population at the time, but yeah, he ended whole civilizations. Kids movie! But he's used up all his wishes, right? Nope. Turns out that the magic talisman he has around his neck is the source of his magical powers. And when he combines it with the lamp, it allows him to get unlimited wishes. Oh, and his first wish was for immortality.
Ooh, good wishes.
I'll say.
Well, it seems everything is okay, but the very next day, he and Dijon arrive for real.
Who cares? The kids have a total of 2 wishes left, and one of them belongs to little Webigail. And what else would a little girl wish for than for all of her toys to come to life?
This time, there was no hiding the chaos from Scrooge. Louis had to use their collective final wish to undo Webby's wish, and Scrooge learns just what Genie is.
The genie in the magic lamp. The fortunes I could own. I could have the world's biggest diamond. No, the world's biggest diamond mine. No, all the diamond mines. No, the entire mining industry.
Yeah, this'll end well.
This is why Scrooge is such a very strong character. His unique combination of virtues and vices enable him to be both the source of problems and solutions. This is a case where he's the source of a problem.
Well, there is that one thing he really wanted at the beginning of the movie. What was it again?
The treasure of Kali Baba.
He got squished.
I now want to show Murloc turning into a rat. And then getting abused by everything around him.
I love the suffering of others.
That's another good thing about this movie. Even the big bad can be a source of comedy without losing his menace.
What are you talking about? I can't take him seriously now.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay, you win!
Murloc's character seems to be able to change with his forms. This gives him a great deal of nuance that really makes him a very interesting character. Anyway, throughout the movie, there's been the mention of an archaeological society ball that Scrooge did not want to attend since he lost Kalibaba's treasure. But now that he has it, he's all for rubbing it in everyone's faces. But he's taken the genie with him in case he thinks of another perfect wish.
No, not the lamp. Have a heart.
Can't he stay with us, Uncle Scrooge? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't care what Leaf says. Scrooge is still a freaking jerkwad who forgets things like kindness and humanity once he starts seeing dollar signs.
So it's off to the ball, and here is one strike I have against this movie. Those are clearly soda cups. They really couldn't even afford to have any hard drinks like champagne or wine depicted in this movie.
Whatever. Scrooge lets Genie out as long as he stays small and hidden, but it's not long at all before Murloc shows up. Man, it's almost like ancient immortal wizards after the secrets to limitless power are persistent or something.
I have to say that there's no real build-up to Scrooge's big speech about finding the treasure, so Genie interrupting him doesn't really leave any impact other than, well, getting him to run away from Murloc. After the big deal he made of the treasure throughout the movie, I'm a little disappointed that there was nothing more made of this interruption by the genie. Seems like a wasted interruption to me.
Quit whining. It's time for a chase scene with a bear! Yeah, Murloc can pretty much turn into any animal, and even when faced with certain death, Scrooge refuses to give up one of his wishes for a non-financial purpose.
What's more important, a fortune or your life?
Well...
Leaf, didn't you mention something about him having better qualities at some point?
I'm glad you asked that, Husky. It's about to happen now.
Eh?
Bring it back to just after Murloc leaves the room. Scrooge and Genie have a quick heart-to-heart where Scrooge begins to realize that Genie is not just some pawn to be used. He's greedy and stubborn, sure, but he's not completely heartless.
Yeah, until Genie starts making passive-aggressive requests for free stuff.
Maybe some ski equipment, a CD player, my own home video entertainment system.
All right.
Anywho, time for a mix-up!
After narrowly evading Murloc, Scrooge accidentally trips over a food tray, dropping the lamp, and picking up something which is not the lamp by mistake.
Then, someone else finds the lamp. Good old Dijon! Oh, I love this part here. Genie actually has to trick this doofus into using the lamp for himself, because he's an idiot. But this plan backfires. Yes, he does stay out of Murloc's hands a little longer, but when Scrooge returns home, he finds his place under new management.
As it turns out, Dijon's first wish was for Scrooge's entire fortune to belong to him, as marked by the giant D in the front of his mansion. Well, what used to be his mansion. Dijon then has Scrooge sent to jail for trespassing.
Man, it's gotta suck getting arrested for trespassing in your own house. Isn't there supposed to be a skit going right now?
Yeah, the last review kinda knocked out our budget for a while. Cabbage dancing is about all we can afford.
Fat for me, much too fat for me. Can I please stop dancing? She's too fat, she's too fat, she's too fat for me.
Well, Scrooge's more loyal friends come along to bail him out, but they're still stuck without any means of beating Dijon and getting the lamp back. His house has just got way too much security in it.
But there's so many alarms.
Aye, hundreds. And 14,657 ways to trigger them.
And you know each and every one, don't you, Uncle Scrooge?
Aye.
Whoa! Time to go ninja!
So the kids invade from the back of the house while Scrooge paratroops to the roof. Good thing Launchpad owns his own planes.
Scrooge guides the kids over various security measures, but Murloc is being a sneaky cockroach. Once the kids disable the security system, Scrooge slips in through the ceiling and breaks into his old office where Dijon is holding the lamp.
But the moment he gets his cane on it, Murloc swoops in and takes it from both of them. What's worse, he places his green talisman on top of it, finally regaining the limitless power he had in days of old.
Oh man, I can't wait to see how this movie ends. How's Scrooge gonna beat an all-powerful magic jerk?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Yay!
Watch it yourselves.
What?
Again, budget cut.
Oh man.
Yeah, sorry folks, but I'm requiring all of my viewers to track this movie down and watch it for yourselves. This was the age of high-budget animation and high-flying adventure. I'm not kidding when I say they don't make them like this anymore. And no, it's not just me saying how much better stuff was in my day. Any cartoon in the 70s and 80s didn't compare to this level of quality. I love watching this movie, and I want you all to enjoy it for yourselves the way I do.
Yeah, sorry for the budget cuts all over this particular review, but now I hope you can see how important a good budget is for a production.
So wait, where does the money we use for these reviews come from?
Why, it's a very good question, Husky. That's where you guys come in.
I have officially started a Conan Bell Patreon page. If you've ever wanted to support my work in a more direct fashion, go to Patreon and become a patron today. My videos will still be free for all to enjoy, but I need support in order to keep them that way. Yes, I joke around about what costs money in these videos, but the fact remains these are not free to make. Things like purchasing new movies, maintaining my equipment, buying costumes and props for all of you people. All of this costs money and all of this requires your support.
Well, that answers where it's coming from now, but where did it come from before?
Oh, there's our ninja contracts, Jerry J's paper route, and we've recently added one more thing.
I am the kid movie ninja.
I won't keep it all, Louis. Most of these artifacts will go to museums.
That doesn't sound like Uncle Scrooge.
That way I can enjoy a hefty tax break.
That does.